Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Congressman. And thank all of you for coming out on a night that when we started this morning in slush and snow seemed horrible, and it still is cold, and we're back in winter here. So we're very pleased you're all here. Can people hear? Maybe not really. Does that help? Somewhat? I think I'd like to start with just sort of telling you something about who is Baseball Field of Dreams and what our thoughts are and what our plans are and how this all came about. My name is Alex Bach. I'm a lifelong resident of Greater Boston, have been a Red Sox fan all my life, and had the pleasure and honor of being involved in 2001 with one of the groups that was trying to buy the Red Sox. I'm an attorney and also a business school person, and was working on the bid of a group that didn't seem to have much chance to get the Red Sox. It was Tom Warner and Les Oden's group, and over time, over the summer of 2001, we ultimately became the group that won, and I had a chance during that 9-month period of working with them every day of seeing the sort of the sausage making behind the magic of the Red Sox, and it was a wonderful experience, and saw that in the process of doing that and understanding the economics of baseball, had a chance to spend time understanding the business side. And a few years later, a gentleman named Charles Steinberg, who many of you may know, he was the Red Sox PR guy, sort of did the magic thing, did a conference on the economic development impact of baseball, minor league baseball in Massachusetts in the fall of 2005. And he talked about the fact that minor league teams were in Staten Island and were in New York. Mayor Giuliani had required the Mets and Yankees to put teams in New York City, and as a condition of being considered to build at new stadiums, which later came 10 years later. And I'm sitting there listening to that and saying, there's no reason we can't have a minor league team in Greater Boston. There's no reason that they have to be way out, and that somebody who lives in the city, and I had grown up going to Fenway by subway 10, 15 times a year, and was able to, and that 65% of the people who go to Fenway Park go either by subway or walk. I mean, we're a area that loves our baseball, and people are willing to and are used to traveling by subway. And you stop and think about it, and you say, urban areas should be able to have baseball just beyond Major League. And I like to make the analogy some of you have heard before, that you can have a parish church in the same city with a cathedral. Fenway Park is a wonderful place, and I hope all of you have had the opportunity to be there many times. But it is very expensive, and it's very hard to get tickets for people. And we're really running, those of us who love baseball, and I should say that at the core, those of us who are involved in this start out as being baseball fans, and that is and baseball is the most amazing institution left in our society, where you can really connect with people, and I just hope people, and if you think about it, you can have a real conversation with your kid and your neighbor's kid and someone sitting next to you in a baseball game, and I've seen that myself, and that was what drove me. I've now got 3 children who are 17 to 22, but when I started this process, was able to take my own kids many times to baseball games, and that was really how I was able to connect with them. And I found, so I went to this thing, I heard about baseball in New York, thought about that we could do it in Boston, and that started in the spring of 2006. And over the course of the last 5 years, have visited 30 minor league stadiums and identified what we thought was the best minor league stadium in the country. It was a stadium in Springfield, Missouri. It's the AA stadium for the Springfield Cardinals. Hammons Field, it's also for Missouri State college baseball team. And we went out, and the architect for that stadium is our architect for this stadium here. You'll hear from one of those architects this evening. And for those of you, when you came in, there were pictures out there of that stadium, and you'll see some pictures later. But Hammons Field is an amazing stadium, and it's amazing the experience when you go and see a true minor league stadium. And I would say in New England, we have a lot of very good minor league stadiums, but can tell you without feeling boastful, I think the experience that you will have here will be one that will make all those experiences elsewhere in New England be, at a B plus level compared to what we're going to have here for you. It is the fan experience. Every game is an event. Every game is something fun for folks, and we have brought together an amazing team to bring this effort here to Malden. We have not only the architects for Hammond's Field, we have one of the best local architectural groups of architects in Massachusetts, the architectural team from Chelsea. You'll hear later from Mark Rosenshine of that group in presenting a 3D plan that will show you what the stadium will look like. We've got a great group of architects. We have a great group of baseball folks who know a lot about baseball. We have Matt Perry will speak to you later. Matt is head of a group called National Sports Services, who've been involved in over 20 minor league teams and stadiums around the country. He himself has been involved in the management of several teams, minor league teams. We also have on the financing side, as an advisor to us and an investor, the investment banker who did Camden Yards was the lead banker for that, and for the lead banker for the Arlington Rangers Stadium. We have a superb group of folks, and over the process of this evening, we'll introduce some of them to you, and you'll hear from many of them.